Okay, folks, today's topic is gonna be mixing related. So, if you're here for sound design, not today. Today we're gonna focus on the backside of the master section. If we flip the rack, you see I've already preloaded here, preloaded 4 effects here. If you don't know what's happened in here, let's focus on this. So this is Sendeffekt 1 here. We go from here and go through the effect and here in the FX return. The effects in here should always be wet, so no dry signal coming through. But we can do better. So let's delete all those effects and let's use Mixchannels for that. So we drop our Mixchannels in here, go into the input and use the direct out here on the right side to go back into the return. Same thing goes with the second effect and so on and so forth. Now we have the option to put a reverb in here or any other effect that's going to be in a send. Now it gets cabled to the mix channel and it's ready to go. If we switch to the mixer, you see there's now this dotted line here where we typically would choose our output. So if we go into another bus or into the master output, these 3 lines here means that it's blocked. So it doesn't go anywhere. These are your Sendeffekt channels now. What can you do with this? So we get the opportunity to use this whole mix channel. So we get an EQ with 2 filters in here. Then we get a compressor, a gate, and we get the option to choose in which order this all happens. We get the option to invert a signal, which is sometimes important if you need it. And we get the option to send our effect 1 to effect 2. So I could say my effect 1 goes into send effect 2 or my effect 2 goes into send effect 1. This isn't possible before. This is only possible if you do it with mixed channels. Other than that, you are able to get a sidechain signal in here. So we could use the mixer's compressor to trigger a sidechain on that, which isn't also possible before. You are now able to link multiple effects. That's totally overkill, but you get now the opportunity to have a signal chain going for effectation. Otherwise, you would need to put that in at least a combinator or cable it yourself. Another thing to try here is we could cut our master out and put it into control room out. And what this does is it's enabled a few features. So instead of using your volume on your interface or using this master fader here, now this is your control room level. So you could set your interface to relatively low and crank this instead of cranking the monitors on your interface. Another cool trick that enables is this window here. If we click it, we get send 1 to 8 and return 1 to 8. And what's now possible is you can hear the effect. So let me get this real quick. We insert we insert a Dr. Octarex with the standard loop, and we say Dr. Octarex goes into reverb 1. We see there it is. We have also the option to turn it down or even automate the level on this over a few minutes in our track. But now we clearly send our Dr. Octarex to Sendeffekt 1, which is a reverb. And now we got the option to check what's going in here. So if I just go to send 1, it only plays what's fed into the reverb. So if I now hear, now you could hear that it's going into the reverb, but you can't hear the reverb. So you could put up the level. So you could you are totally able to hear how loud is it going into my effect. And you get the option to choose return, which is after the reverb. So you only hear the processed sound. This could be very good for finding stuff that gets your mix muddy, because you could always solo the return effect you want and hear, is there something clashing? Is there something down in the lows that doesn't need to be there? And instantly switch to master and decide, is this cut worth or not? Do I have to move the cut? So it basically makes mixing a little bit easier, because you have more options on how to look on your audio or on your song. The last trick I want to show you with the master section in here, there's something to note here with this control room output I forgot to mention. If you use this instead of the master out, you will never hit the red lights up here. It doesn't matter how loud your song is, it will never clip. That doesn't mean it's good, but it's safer for your monitors. So you don't get accidental loud sounds that blow your speakers. This is a little protection, some kind of, but just to keep in mind, don't produce too loud if you use this technique. If you go too loud into here, you will always have limiting on there, and that's not very pleasant. But as I said, it's more a protective thing for your monitors. Okay, now the last thing I want to show you is we still got this master out. What we could do there is we take ourselves another mix channel and hook the master out into the input, and the direct out we hook into the sidechain input. Notice that the sidechain input key button now is lit blue. For the sake of this tutorial, I will delete these because they are somehow distractive. So now you can see it better from the master out to the input and from the direct out into the dynamics. And what we do now is we put an EQ in there, especially one that has a standard high-pass filter on it, either 24 or 12 decibels per octave. It doesn't matter. But the only thing we want to use is the high pass on this, because we only want to use the high pass on this. You totally could do it in the channel itself, but I think it's a little bit safer to use it in here. So what we do now is we click this on and leave it on 20 Hertz. Now the thing is, if we go to our master compressor, you see the blue key is lit here also. And what's this setup does? If we raise the high pass filter, obviously the low end gets cut out. But this cutout only happens on our side changing. But this effect only appears on our sidechain channel. So what does that mean to us? If you play our mix here, the compressor typically would react to everything that's going in. So if you have a loud bass drum, it will pump as hell if you don't get it right set up here in the options. So a loud kick will pump your compressor harder. And with this compressor here, with this EQ here, we are able to cut the gain reduction information for the kick. So if our kick has a fundamental at 80 Hertz, just to say a number, we could start a little bit over 80 Hertz and gradually work our way up here until the kick doesn't affect the compressor that hard. This will make your mixes a little bit stable, a little bit more stable compression wise, and leave the kick out of the equation. So the kick is almost unaffected by the compressor, so it sounds as it should instead of getting pumped down. Okay, I guess that's all I have to say about this. Yeah, so you should totally use Mixchannels for your Sendeffekts as well as the sidechain input of the master compressor. It gets you more options to mix, more freedom to mix, and it helps getting stuff a little bit cleaner than without it. Okay, I guess that's enough information for today. I hope you find this useful and maybe could incorporate this into your production. If so, please leave a like or a comment down below. Consider subscribing. And until next time, have a great day. Bye.